The dust in Dutchess County doesn't settle. It waits. At night, when the floorboards groan and the temperature drops 20 degrees in a single breath, you'll feel it watching from the corners. But the cold isn't the warning. The cold is the invitation. Because out in Poughkeepsie, there's a farmhouse where a woman still sweeps the same patch of dirt every midnight, and if you hear that bristle against wood, it's already too late. Your name is already in her envelope. So tell me, when was the last time you checked the bottoms of your shoes? My name is Ryan Porter. I don't go back to Dutchess County anymore. Not since October. Last fall, I was staying with my Uncle Samuel at his farm outside Poughkeepsie. My other uncle, Daniel, lived 20 minutes south. The two brothers hadn't spoken in 7 years. A dispute over their father's will. A fence line moved 3 feet in the night. The kind of silence that hardens into concrete and stays there. But on the 9th day of October, Samuel changed. We were watching the news when he stood up mid-sentence. "We should visit Daniel tonight," he said. Not a question. A statement. Flat. Hollow. Like someone reading a script he didn't understand. My Aunt Rachel laughed. "You won't even drive past his road. Now you want coffee in his kitchen?" Samuel sat back down. Said nothing. But his hands were shaking. An hour later, "We should visit Daniel." Another hour. "Let's go see my brother again." Again. Again. 4 times before midnight. Same words. Same dead tone. Like a prayer wheel stuck on one sin. We wrote it off. Exhaustion. The weight of the season. We went to the county fair. Watched the fireworks bleed across the sky. Came home. Ate. Slept. I couldn't sleep. I sat on the porch steps around 11:30, scrolling my phone, when I felt it. A presence behind me. Not threatening. Just waiting. Breathing. I turned. Uncle Samuel stood 3 feet away, head down, arms limp at his sides. His chest rose and fell in deep wet pulls. Like someone drowning in slow motion. "Uncle," I said. "You okay?" He didn't look up. "I have to go," he whispered. "To Daniel's." "Right now, Uncle, it's midnight. You're sleepwalking. Go back to bed." I took his arm. It was cold. Not skin cold. Fridge cold. The cold of something that's been dead long enough to forget what warmth felt like. He let me lead him inside. Didn't resist. Didn't speak. I watched him lie down. Then I went to sleep. At 3:17 a.m., Rachel screamed. We found Samuel on the bedroom floor. Not on the bed. On the floor. Face down against the hardwood. His fingers were dug into the gaps between planks, nails split and bleeding, like he'd been trying to claw his way into the crawlspace. When my mother tried to roll him over, his back arched. His mouth opened. And he wailed. Not a human sound. The sound a house makes before it collapses. The sound a dog hears right before an earthquake. Then he spoke. But his lips didn't move. "The shepherd calls his sheep by name," came from somewhere behind his teeth. But does the flock know the wolf wearing his voice? We'd watched enough YouTube videos. Read enough comment sections. You don't reason with this. You contain it. We dragged him toward the prayer room. The only room in that house with a cross above every window and a Bible on every shelf. He fought. God, he fought. His body twisted in ways bone shouldn't bend. His heels drummed the floorboards like a hanged man dancing. The lights flickered with every heartbeat, not his own. His jaw unhinged, slightly, wrongfully, and for one frozen second I saw something looking out from behind his eyes. Something that had been waiting a very long time to be invited in. But we got him inside. We held him there, pinned against the wall, as my mother called Daniel. Daniel arrived with a small glass bottle, holy water from a priest in Newburgh, blessed with oils and years. The priest had told him, 1 drop in the ear. Only 1. And only if you're willing to hear what answers back. Daniel pulled Samuel's head back. Samuel's eyes rolled white, then black, then something in between that doesn't have a name. The drop fell, and Samuel screamed, not in pain, in recognition. "You," the voice that emerged was not a shout. It was quiet, ancient, crackling like old wood in a dying fire. It came from Samuel's throat, but it did not belong to him. "You knew." Daniel didn't flinch. "I know who you are," he said quietly. "And I know who sent you." The thing in Samuel went still. Then it smiled with my uncle's mouth. A smile that stretched too wide, pulled by muscles that should not have moved that way. "Then you know I'm not leaving." "We weren't asking," Daniel nodded to my mother. She lit a dried chili pepper in a clay dish, an old Hudson Valley trick, older than the church, older than the cross. Passed down from the Dutch settlers, who knew things about the land they never put in writing. Smoke rose. Acrid. Burning. The smell of something between prayer and punishment. She brought it close. The thing thrashed. Screamed. Begged. "I'll go. I'll leave him. Just let me." She blew the smoke into its face. And Samuel collapsed. For 10 minutes he was still. Then he opened his eyes. Confused. Tired. Human. "What happened?" he whispered. "Why do I taste fire?" We thought it was over. At dawn, my mother walked outside to clear her head. She saw a shape at the edge of the driveway. Low to the ground. Watching. It was a muskrat, or something that wore a muskrat's skin. It sat on its haunches, forepaws hanging limp, head cocked at an angle no animal's neck should hold. It did not move. It did not blink. It simply watched, as though it had been sitting there since before the house was built, waiting for someone to finally notice. When she stepped toward it, it turned and walked slowly down the road. Not ran. Walked. Deliberate. Purposeful. Like it knew she would follow. She did. Half a mile. A full mile. Past the fence line. Past the old oak. To the edge of Daniel's property. And there, at the boundary where the 2 brothers had fought 7 years ago, the creature stopped. Turned once to look at her. And then it folded into itself. Not ran, not vanished, but folded, like a cloth collapsing into a pile of empty fur. My mother ran back. She opened the prayer room door. Samuel was on his feet, staring at the wall. And written on the wall in what looked like soot but smelled like rot and old flowers were words, "The shepherd called." I answered, "The flock is mine now." We drove him to the priest that morning. Father Tomasi was old, 80 if he was a day, with eyes that had seen things in the old country that never made it to confession. He lit frankincense, held it to Samuel's nose. Samuel inhaled, and the thing returned. But this time it didn't fight. It spoke. "Ask," it said. The voice was tired, resigned, like a prisoner who had finally been caught and was almost grateful for the rest. "I know why you brought him. Ask. Father Tomasi didn't hesitate. Who sent you? A pause. Then laughter. Low. Dry. Ancient. The sound of stones grinding together at the bottom of a well. The woman in the farmhouse. The one who watches from the upstairs window. She gave me the dust. What dust? The dust from his feet. When he walked past her property that evening. When he went to his shop. She swept where he stepped. Collected the dirt in an envelope. Spoke his name into it 3 times at midnight. Buried it under her front steps. Father Tomasi went pale. His own aunt, his father's brother's wife. Yes, the thing smiled. She wanted him to come to her. Wanted him to cross her threshold willingly. If he had, I would have taken him completely. He would have walked into that house, sat at her table, eaten her bread, and never walked out. But his family stopped him. So I waited. And now I know all their names. Father Tomasi pressed the cross to Samuel's forehead. The thing screamed. And then it was gone. Samuel woke. He remembered nothing after leaving his shop that evening. But I remember. I remember what the thing said as we drove away from the priest's house. One last whisper, so faint I thought I imagined it, curling from the back seat like smoke from a dying candle. Dust remembers where it fell. We told the family. The elder woman, Esther, Samuel's aunt by marriage, denied everything. But her sons moved her out of the county within a week. The farmhouse stands empty now. The windows are boarded. But at night, if you walk past, you can see a light flickering in the upstairs window. And sometimes, if the wind is right, you can hear sweeping. Not footsteps. Sweeping. Because she's still collecting. Still waiting. Still burying names under the steps. And dust. Dust never forgets. This is the story of the footstep thief of Dutchess County. It is not a ghost story. It is a warning. The oldest evil does not need your hair. It does not need your nails. It does not need your blood. It needs only the ground you walk on. Because the earth remembers every step. And so does the dust that clings to your shoes. So listen closely, family. If a relative who hates you suddenly invites you close. If a path you've walked 1,000 times feels suddenly watched. If you sweep your porch at night and find the dirt already gathered. Turn around. Some grudges outlive the living. Some doors are thresholds, not destinations. If you have a story that haunts you, send it to contact.thedreadcodex@gmail.com. Your truth becomes our tale. Your likes and comments keep these stories alive. Until next time, may your floors stay clean. May your footsteps remain your own. And if you hear sweeping tonight, don't look outside. Good night.